Today I'm gonna build a shed, but not just one, I'm gonna build 5 in my backyard. And I have 10 days to finish before a big storm hits and a $6,000 budget that I'm gonna try to beat. And somehow during the middle of this project, I have to warn you, I end up in the hospital. Most people would just buy one big shed and stick it in the corner of their backyard. But I didn't want this massive storage box taking up all of my real estate. Instead, I decided to build 5 smaller sheds tucked around my property. And I've decided to give this project 4 challenges: time, budget, storage purpose, and of course, yard transformation. Let's build some sheds. And this is the shed I almost bought. A little over $6,000, and honestly, it's not even that impressive. But the bigger problem is, where would I place it? If I put that huge thing in my backyard, it basically becomes the main feature of the yard. One giant storage box sitting right in the middle of everything. So I decided to build 5 smaller ones tucked along the side of my house. And these 5 sheds will have the same storage space as the one large one. But now everything will be organized by purpose and hidden from my backyard, and hopefully way cheaper than $6,000. There is just one small problem. I only have 10 days before this major storm is supposed to roll through, and before I can build anything, I have to start with the foundation. And instead of one giant slab, this project needs 5 separate concrete pads, which means 5 form boards, 5 layouts, and 5 chances to mess this up. Each one has to be level and square and perfectly positioned, because once concrete goes in, there's no fixing it. And remember, the clock is already ticking. Every hour I spend here is one less hour before the storm shows up. So far, everything is going smooth and to plan, and off camera, I put in some Roundup and weed killer to kill the grass. In most cases, you would want to use a plastic vapor barrier, but I looked up and did some research, and it's not needed for 5 smaller sheds like this because the grass will be smothered by the concrete. Oh, and you see what I'm doing here? This is smoothing and finishing. Now, this part may look simple, but if these slabs aren't right, the entire project falls apart before it even starts. And by the end of the day, 5 slabs are finally in the ground, which means the real build can finally begin. But this is also where the project started getting a lot more complicated. And with the slabs finished, it was finally time to start building the sheds themselves. And the first step was framing the walls. Each shed starts the same way: simple wall framing, studs, plates, and a lot of measuring. And the only difference is the boards touching the concrete slab. You see, anything that touches concrete needs to be pressure-treated lumber. Regular wood can absorb moisture from the slab and eventually rot. So I opted for pressure-treated lumber for the parts that were touching the slab. The rest was normal grade construction 2x4s. But pressure-treated lumber gives these sheds a much better chance of surviving, long term. One wall becomes 2, 2 become 4, and slowly the shed starts taking shape. But remember, the whole project is still on the clock. The storm is getting closer, and I still have 4 more sheds to build. Oh, and you see what I'm doing here? I'm using a jigsaw to notch out my rafters. You see, that's going to be the part that connects the roof, and we want a strong structure going up. So once the walls were standing, it was time for the rafters to go up. They went in one by one, and before you know it, I had all 5 sheds built. Well, I had them framed. But then it was time to move on to the sheathing. This was going to go on the top. And finally, these things were starting to actually look like buildings. I'm really proud of myself. And at this point, this process is becoming like a rhythm. Measure, cut, assemble, and repeat. And with 5 sheds to build, there's a lot of repeating. But somewhere during all this framing, something went wrong. Yep, this project actually sent me to the hospital with a piece of wood that shot straight through my hand. Not exactly the part of the original plan. And you remember that storm I was talking about? Well, it didn't wait on me to heal, of course. It came in hot and heavy. Our yards flooded out, and so did our streets. It was a pretty sloppy disaster, but it was okay because it gave me time to heal. And once I was cleared, I got back to it. And once the framing was finished, it was time to figure out this siding. Originally, I walked into Lowe's planning to buy some basic plywood. But after looking at it and talking it over, I decided to change that plan. These are hardy plank panel siding boards. Unlike traditional wood siding, this stuff actually is cement-based, which means it doesn't rot. It doesn't swell, and it holds up way better over time. The downside, it's definitely more expensive, and hopefully this doesn't push me over my budget, because we already know I lost the time part of this challenge. But I'm glad I opted for this hardy board siding, because if I'm going to build 5 sheds from scratch, I'd rather build them once and build them right. So the sheds officially got an upgrade. And at this point, the sheds were finally starting to look pretty real. But the hardest part is still ahead. But with the siding finished, the next step was sealing everything up. Every seam, every joint, and every piece of trim needed to be caulked. Because if water gets in behind the siding, these sheds won't last very long. And since there are 5 sheds instead of 1, that means there's 5 times the caulking. Oof. And once everything was sealed, you guessed it, it was time for the paint. I sprayed 2 full coats for every shed, not just to make them look good, but to protect them siding long term. And this is the moment where the project finally started to feel actually real. But it was time to move on to the roofing. And the first step is putting on this black roofing felt paper. You hammer it down with these special nails, and you get ready to add the shingles. This was actually pretty hard if you ask me. 1 row at a time, the shingles went on, slowly turning these frames into actual sheds. But they're architectural, meaning you had to kind of line them up, and it took a little math. And, if I'm being honest, a few YouTube videos as well. The good news is the process repeats itself. And once I figured 1 roof out, I was able to breeze through the others. It was really coming along nicely, and I gotta say, it looks pretty damn good. But I know I'm just a DIYer, but I wanted to come across as professional as possible. And before I knew it, all 5 roofs were complete. But every shed still needed one very important thing: the doors. So instead of building 5 identical doors, I decided to make things a little more interesting. Each shed got its own door design. 5 sheds, 5 doors, 5 completely different looks. And after weeks of building, cutting, measuring, and recovering from a trip to the hospital, these 5 sheds were actually coming to an end. What started as an idea to avoid one giant storage building turned into 5 separate sheds tucked neatly along the side of my house. And remember, the original shed was going to cost me just a little over $6,000, while the total cost to build all 5 of these sheds came in right around $5,000. That works out to be around $950 per shed. Now honestly, they could have been even cheaper if I had gone with basic plywood siding instead of that hardy cement siding. Each shed probably would have cost me closer to $500. Now remember, the goal for this project was 10 days. That didn't exactly happen. Between building 5 sheds from scratch and accidentally sending myself to the hospital, the project actually took 25 days to finish. Not exactly the original plan, but considering everything that happened, I'll take it. In my opinion, the benefit to having 5 separate sheds instead of 1 is you're much more organized. So instead of having a bunch of junk all piled up in one, now I can easily access 5 different sheds. One's meant for tools, one's meant for yard stuff, another one for home storage, another for holiday, and 1 extra for bonus, like skateboards, bikes, all that junk that piles up in your house. So what do you think? Came out pretty nice, right? Now I just have to figure out what I'm going to build next. And I'm thinking it's going to be this pathway. What do you think? Comment below and let me know what you think about these sheds, and if I should do something special for the walkway.